Time to do a little vlogging. Just heading home from work and figured I would try out this new camera setup. Actually have it mounted. I know I've been talking all this time about mounting the camera, and here we are. Finally got the dang thing mounted. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about this truck that I got, and I'm working on a documentary about it right now, and it'll be coming out when I get it done, because it's like at least 4 hours worth of footage that I've got to scrub through. But so this truck is a 2011 Nissan Frontier Pro-4x. It is pretty much the top of the line Frontier for its era. It's a 4-liter V6, 4x4, leather seats, heated seats, electronic locking rear differential. It's got a whole bunch of interesting upgrades on it too. It's got a suspension lift, Bilstein in the front, all dogs, extra leaf in the rear. It's got 33-inch General Grabber AT tires on it. It's a 2-inch lift, by the way. Previous owner did a differential breather modification for being able to ford water crossings without flooding the diffs. There's a rooftop tent on the back. It's a bed mount with a Smitty built tent. And I gotta say, that tent is very, very comfortable. I slept all across America in it, and I'll get into that later. But it's a great tent. Some other modifications, it's got an ARB bumper on the front, like a cowcatcher style bumper. It's got a 12,000-pound winch with synthetic line. It's got ditch lights on it that have both a white and amber settings. In fact, I used the amber when I was racing storms out across Kansas. Another story for another time. Let's see, what other things does it have? Modifications. I can't think of any of the other mods right now. When I bought this thing, the fellow that sold it to me, guy out in California, his name is Michael, really cool guy, and he sent a whole bunch of recovery equipment with it. And basically, you know, he was moving out of the country and was selling everything, going home to his home country to take care of some ailing parents, I think. And so, yeah, I pretty much got everything in this truck that he had for it. And he's definitely the kind of guy that makes intentional modifications and use it like they're real world user mods that have been put to the test. He and his wife drove and lived all over America for like 3 months a few years ago as a big American adventure, I guess. So this truck's already seen a bunch of interesting things. He sent me a few pictures. There's one of him out in the snow. I don't know if it's like in Utah or Colorado or something. And there's one of him getting all flexy on a trail, and one carrying a kayak or a canoe, and camping all over the place. So it's been used well. Of course, I flew out to California to buy it, flew into Sacramento, and then went all the way across all of America with my good friend Robert. And we filmed the documentary about it the whole way, which will be coming out on this channel. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I gotta say, probably my favorite vehicle I've ever had so far. And I mean, you know, it's a little bit old, but it's paid for, which is always awesome. Having paid for stuff is one of the best feelings in the world, in my opinion. I think there is a place for debt in certain areas, but even in the like quote unquote responsible areas of debt, I don't know about you, but I always feel like a physical weight when I owe money on things, on anybody, like no matter what it is. I don't like how it feels. So I tend to avoid it. You know, we're living in America, most expensive country in the world. So it's kind of hard to avoid it if you aren't just a particularly high earner. Unfortunately, that seems to be the era that we exist in here. So, you know, I'm not bashing anybody for having a car payment, but if you don't have to, highly recommend it. It feels pretty good if you don't have to. But yeah, that's why I didn't go out and buy a brand new truck. I bought one that was, pushing 15 years old at this point. Well, yeah, what else about this truck? It's got a sunroof, which I definitely dig. One drawback, she's thirsty. Gotta admit, not the best miles per gallon. I think it's like probably 15 or 16 on a good day. So yeah, but for the price I got it for, which was an extremely fair deal, dare I say a great deal, I'll just say I was very happy with it. I'll put it that way. Let's just say I can afford to buy a lot of gas on the money that I didn't spend on a newer vehicle. I'll just leave it at that. But I'm looking forward to taking this out on some trails. In the area I live in, it's in the Chattanooga area. One in particular that I have used in the past just to kind of shake a vehicle out is the Haley Road Trail on the back end of Prentice Cooper State Park. So I'll probably take it out there. It's got a little of everything. It's got some rock fields, some of which I've taken my Jeep over when I had that. Don't know if this guy will do okay in the rock fields or not. I don't have any armor on the underbelly. I really want to get some armor. In particular, I'm eyeing some stuff from Z1 off-road. Their underbody plates look pretty fantastic. Whoop, lost you there for a minute. How long was that down? Hopefully not too long. Yeah, so the Z1 underbody plates are cool. They've got some cool suspension stuff too I might look at later down the road if we want to go higher. Thinking, there might be a Titan swap in the future. I might consider that. But really, I think one of the most practical mods I could do right now as we sit is putting those skid plates on the belly, just because a lot of the spots I want to go, can get pretty rocky, pretty hairy, and best to protect the guts, as it were. Thinking about maybe doing a beach trip too, going and camping at a state park or even in a national park, I'm not sure. But probably, a state park at a beach location. If you have any recommendations, send me a comment. I would love to know what recommendations you have for beach camping. So yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, I guess that's really it. Just really wanted to kind of talk about the truck a little bit, just a basic overview of how I came about to getting it without a whole lot of details. There'll be more to come in the documentary. Now I got to find my train of thought, what I was thinking about here. What am I going to say next? Sometimes it's hard to have a stream of consciousness. You just kind of run out of things to say. I have thought about getting a camper top for the back and then mounting the tent on top of it. And I've seen a couple different kinds. I've seen the aluminum or the steel versions of camper tops, but they're just wicked expensive. They're like $5,000 to $8,000 for these things. Like, good grief, just totally bonkers how expensive they are. And I've also seen, I guess, the fiberglass version, which is a little bit more common, but I don't know what the load capacity on one of those things are. I haven't seen very many people mount tents on top of one of the fiberglass canopies. So if you know anything about that, I certainly wouldn't mind some intel on what is okay to mount on top of a fiberglass canopy. I actually found one used on Marketplace. I think the guy only wants a couple $100 for it. And it's exactly for this crew cab short bed Frontier. Another cool fact about these Frontiers, for those who don't know, Nissan made them practically unchanged 2005 through 2020, I think. I think they might have changed the powertrain the last couple of years of production. And then within the first 5 years of production, there was an issue with the 4-liter V6 and the fated strawberry milkshake of death, or SMOD, where coolant would mix in with the oil and ruin the engine. But they fixed that after 2010. So 2011 through at least like 2018, I think, was exactly the same. One of the longest production, practically unchanged trucks that I'm familiar with. It's pretty dead reliable, pretty inexpensive, relatively speaking. I mean, they cost way less than the counterparts like the Tacomas of the world. So for a guy like me, it makes all the sense in the world. Economical, modifiable, reliable. In my opinion, they look great. Some people would disagree. I happen to think it looks great, especially this one. The way it's modded out, I think it looks really great. So, but yeah, just let me know what you think. Post some pictures of it. Anyway, I think that's about all I got to say. All that's on my mind right now.